I think we can all agree the most difficult part of any fitness program is the meal prep. Now, with as much as I've been posting on YouTube, which thank you, by the way, if you're subscribed and are following along, but it's coming up more in conversation, especially when I talk with people that are potential clients or just people at the gym, that for most people, food in general, like this, is a difficult concept to comprehend. See, for the average person, I feel like when they hear terms like macro counting or setting calories, being in a calorie deficit, total daily energy expenditure, it's something they look at kind of like this. You see, it's complex and it looks complicated, but they've seen people do this before and they think that's something that I can do. They try their hand at it for a while, but eventually they get frustrated with it and they give up, which is almost always why they fall off their programming, because they can't seem to figure it out. But for a person like myself, who's been in the gym for over 10 years and have built the discipline and patience, we're able to figure it out. So today I'm gonna give you a couple tips on how I'm currently setting up my macros in my programming and how my calories are reflected in those macros. So before we get into this, it's important to understand that no two bodies are the same. My body is gonna metabolize food differently than your body, and your body is gonna metabolize food differently than the next person. Whether you're using the numbers that I provide today, or if you're working with a personal trainer, or if you're using an app on your phone to try to set macros and count calories, those are really just equations and formulas to help you set a baseline. And once you set that baseline, you're gonna have to make adjustments as you go. No formula is perfect, and it's really important to understand that. Now, when it comes to counting calories and setting up macros, it's important to understand too how many calories you get per macro. The most common macros that we track are carbohydrates, protein, and fat. Protein and carbohydrates are both going to give you roughly 4 calories per gram, meaning if I eat 1 gram of protein, I'm going to get roughly 4 calories. And that's the same thing with carbohydrate. If I eat 1 gram of carbohydrates, I'm going to get roughly 4 calories. The difference is fat. Fat is such a dense compound. It's roughly 9 calories per gram. So more than carbohydrates and protein combined. Once you have those numbers figured out, it's really just taking those numbers and applying simple math to figure out your numbers. When it comes to my programming, I often set my protein number first. For my body, I prefer a higher protein diet, roughly anywhere from 80 to 100% of my total body weight in grams of protein. And to figure out that number, right now I'm about 185 pounds. I'll just round up, make it a nice 190 pounds, and I'm always gonna err on the high side of setting that number. So what I'm gonna do in order to set my calories per macro, I'm gonna take 190 and multiply that by 4, and that's gonna give me 760 total calories that I'm gonna take in every single day for my protein. And just like that, a third of my macros have been set for the day. Now, the next number that I like to set is my fat. And this is even easier math than the protein numbers, because we know that fat is 9 calories per gram. Me personally, I like setting my fat around 100 grams. They'll tell you anywhere between 40 to 70 grams total per day. I just prefer 100 grams. My body functions best off of that number, and I try not to go higher than that because, again, it's simple math. Take 9 and just multiply that by 100, and that's gonna give me 900 calories every single day from fat. Setting carbohydrates is gonna fill out the remainder of my calories. Now, it's recommended that anywhere from 40 to 60% of your daily total should come from carbohydrates. And how I get that number for myself specifically is I'll take my protein and my fat and I add those numbers together. So I'm gonna take 760 and add it to 900, and it's gonna give me 1,660 calories. All I'm gonna do is take 1,660 calories and multiply that by 0.5 or divide that in half, which is gonna give me 830 total calories that I'm gonna fill from carbohydrates. What we know is that carbohydrates, again, are 4 calories per gram. So if I take 830 and divide that by 4, it's gonna give me 207 to 208 grams of carbohydrates that I'm gonna take in every single day. So now that I've got my protein, my fat, and my carbohydrates in macros figured out, all I have to do is take that remaining number of calories from carbohydrates and add it to my protein and my fat. Take 1,660 from protein and fat and I'm going to add in the 830 from my carbohydrates, and that's going to leave me with 2,490 calories, so roughly 2,500 calories that I'm going to take in every single day. So that's it. That's how I set up my macros, and that's how I use, again, basic numbers and simple math to calculate my calories. If you guys learned from this video or you like it, make sure you leave a like down below. Maybe subscribe to the channel so you don't miss another video like this one. Thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll catch you in the next one. Later. Do you think they'll know that I used 2 Rubik's Cubes? Yeah, I mean, I don't have time to actually figure it out, so.